Hey, time to analyze math and history, and we're gonna be taking a look at inequalities. So, we're gonna be taking a look at some new math symbols that will be applied in our future videos for algebra. So, we have our normal equal sign, a less than sign, a greater than sign, a less than or equal to sign, and a greater or equal to sign. So, these are the 5 symbols that we'll be using today, and we're going to see them in action. One of the first symbols and the most common symbols is our normal equal sign. When we are doing any kind of math, you'll definitely see the equal sign with 2 lines. And that tells us that whatever x is going to equal to a number. For example, x is equal to 10, or x is 10. The equal sign has been around since your early years of school, like you probably seen it in kindergarten, or maybe earlier, so we already know what that equal sign is. The next 2 symbols are also symbols that you might have learned in your young years. The less than symbol and the greater than symbol. With the less than symbol, we're gonna say is x is gonna be less than 10. That symbol right there in the middle, let's describe it as a fish, because a fish always goes for the bigger number. That's what you have learned in your young years, but it doesn't have to be like just one number as x. X could be any number below 10. 9 or below would work because 9 or below would be less than 10. The same thing with the greater than or equal to sign. When we do that, we're going to get, for example, x is going to be greater or more than 10. That can tell us any number that's more than 10 is acceptable. Writing out the equations is one thing, but we can also understand by actually doing a number line. So let's make a number line for here, here, and here. So we have constructed a number line. Let's start with the x equals 10. So here's 10 right here, and we have x, so x is going to be 10. We have an open area because it's actually the same number. Sometimes we can actually close it in because it's the same number. It doesn't really matter at this point, but with the next 2 symbols, it actually does matter because with the x is less than 10, we're going to say that a number that's 9 or below, or a number that's less than 10, is acceptable. So we're going to have an open circle because x has to be less than 10. It cannot be 10 because there's another symbol that it is that allows it to be 10. So x can be any number less than 10. So it's going to go this way. X is the line of numbers going to the left. Same thing with x is greater than 10, but we're going to have a circle that's not bubbled in because it's not including 10, and we're going to make it go right. Any number that's more or greater than 10 will be acceptable. So these are the symbols that we have learned in our early years of mathematics, but the next 2 symbols are going to be new, symbols that we haven't really learned yet. So, the next 2 symbols are the less than or equal to and the greater than or equal to. Let's start with the less than or equal to symbol. So, when we have less than or equal to, the only difference from a less than is that there is a line underneath it, holding it in place. That is telling us that if we put x on one side and 10 on the other side, it's telling us that x can be 10 or less. So pretty much, x can be less than 10 or 10. Less than or equal to 10. that line can be related to the equal sign. But since it only has one, it's pretty much that simple. X is going to be less than or equal to. And if we go over to the greater than or equal to, it's pretty much the complete opposite. It's going to go towards X, and we still have that magic carpet on the bottom, or that line from that equal sign. So X is going to be greater or equal to 10. X can be 10 or more. If we write on a number line to demonstrate how we graph this on a number line, then these are going to be totally different than the symbols we learned in our past years. So, when we graph on a number line for x is less than or equal to 10, we are going to go over the 10, but instead of leaving an open bubble, we're going to close it in. We're going to shade in that bubble, because any number as x can be 10 or less than 10. That magic carpet is actually magically holding the equation together to say you can be 10 or less. So we're going to have 10, and we're still going to put the x line right over here, going to the left, because x can be 10 or less. With the x is greater than or equal to 10, we're going to put the dot right here, but shade it in, because it's or equal to. So x can be 10 or more. X can be greater or more. So x is going to go this way, or any number on that number line, to the right side of 10 or is 10, can be acceptable. So we have now learned what the less than equal to is, and the greater than or equal to is. But there is still one question. The question is, when do we use these symbols in real life? And why are we taught inequalities so we can practice them in the real life? Why does school teach us this? So, we're going to be solving an example problem that's from a video game, and we're going to use inequalities for it. So, the team got 53 points right here. That does not fit the requirements, because 53 is not greater than or equal to 56. This is a false equation or statement. 53 is not greater or equal to 56. So let's see if the team can do better and clear the game. Looks like we're trying a different minigame. So the team has got to get at least 120 points or more. Let's see if they can do it. If they get 120, great. But if they get X, or if they get a number more than 120, that's awesome. Let's see what happens. Let's go! So 164 points is definitely greater or equal to 120. They rocked it. It exceeds the count. So mission successful. Thank you for watching Tao Penalized Math Industry. Like and subscribe.